This is my morning stuff again. The reason why I wanted to start doing this in the morning is that this is one way for me to document and make things clear for me in the beginning of the day. So I'm a big believer in, like I've mentioned in basically in all of my live sessions and in my videos in the past, that I'm the biggest believer in setting the tone right for the day. And what I always do in the beginning of the day is that I ask myself, what's today's signal? What's today's noise? Meaning, in other words, what's relevant and what's not, because I'm the biggest believer in understanding what applies to me. There's always that one thing that I need to do in order to move the ball forward. Everything else is just noise. Okay, and today's signal is actually a couple of things, actually three things I need to accomplish. First, I'm going to get ready to hit the gym, so I train. Today's weightlifting session, so I work out at the gym. Then I have my daughter's physical therapy, and after that I need to record a VSL. What's a VSL? VSL is a video sales letter. Like I mentioned in the past, I'm in the process of repositioning my YouTube channel, be a kind of have much more narrow focus as far as my content goes. I'm going to be talking about real estate investing and real estate coaching in my longer videos, short videos. These lives are more off topic and about behind the scenes and see what that crazy guy is doing. But anyhow, I just woke up a few hours ago. Well, I woke up at 5. It's 8:40 now here. And then luckily fell back asleep. So now I'm going to get ready, show you what I'm going to do before lifting weights, going to the gym, and then kind of preparing my breakfast beforehand, and then going to take it from there. But like I said, today's agenda is first and foremost to make sure that I set the tone right for the day. And that includes me reviewing my upcoming VSL, my video sales letter. I have a guy who works for me. He's my kind of like, call it social media manager, content guy. And he's done a really good job in terms of helping me with my sales funnel and my landing page and whatnot. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm thinking of going to the office later because that's where I usually record my longer videos, but it's so freaking hot there. We have some sort of a heat wave here. And I don't have AC in my office. Don't ask me how that's possible, but anyhow, that is possible. Other than this portable machine that my friend is now borrowing and using. So therefore, I just need to time it right so that it's not super hot. Or maybe I wait until tomorrow. But I'm not a guy who kind of postpones anything, so I want to always get things done as they pop up. But let me go to the kitchen actually and show you what I do for my morning prep. I have this special drink that I do. I'm trying to be quiet because my son's sleeping. I'm gonna set this thing here. Hopefully people can see something. Okay. Yeah, anyhow. Grab a shaker, take water. Take water from the fridge. Then I have this amino acid / your morning greens kind of wake up drink that I do. I'm gonna show it to you. It's called Good Morning. The secret to my 32 years at the gym. No, just kidding. I mix this up. I drink it on an empty stomach. So one scoop goes in. I mix it. There's very few calories. Maybe the idea is to break that vicious cycle, that catabolic cycle that you have when you sleep. I think I don't know if it adds any value, but I'm a big believer in taking your protein in the right form, meaning amino acids, right away. Hello from India. Hi. So this is what I do. I drink this, and then I have my caffeine. This is kind of like an energy drink. I don't drink coffee, but I need my boost, especially when going to the gym. So that's what I do. And then the other thing I do is that I will prepare my, this is kind of like tilted in a messed up way. Here we go. I'm gonna move it like that a little bit. So I'm going to show you what I do. I have a banana, one banana. This goes first. This is the first time I'm preparing my breakfast when in front of my camera. So let's see if I mess things up. So what I do need now is that I need a bowl. I need a bowl and a fork. So when one banana goes here, smashed. So that's the base. And then after that go the eggs. That's where I get my protein. So I have my very low fat, high protein, moderate carb breakfast ready when I come from the gym. So this is the whole idea. I put it back in the fridge. It's kind of like a dough or batter, and it firms up nicely, so it's not liquidy in any way. So what I do is that I smash the banana, and then, anybody following me? One person, there you go. I don't know if this is very interesting, but this is anyhow what I do. Then I start cracking my eggs. I put usually one whole egg. Today I don't feel like putting whole eggs, I just put egg whites. Yolks go there, unfortunately. There's no use for them right now. So, second goes third. So you guys should try this if you want to standardize your meals, which I do all the time. I do nothing but standardize, operationalize everything that I do. It sounds super boring, but it works. This is the fourth egg white. I'm going to show you in a little bit how it looks like. And then the fifth. And then the next thing is that, okay, I broke the yolk a little bit, that doesn't matter. Okay, so then what I do next is that I mix it up. See, it looks like this. Hope there's light. Let me actually turn the lights on. If you can see anything. So this is what I do. Then I mix it up. I mix it up. Put this back here. Sorry about the mess. Put this here. Mix the whole thing like this. And then there's two more ingredients. Oats. Which I believe everybody should be eating. Either oatmeal. And then this is roughly half a cup, which for those who don't know the US metrics, it's like a little over 1 deciliter, like 70 to 80 grams is what I put roughly, almost 100 grams of oats uncooked. Then I again mix it, and the last thing I add is vanilla flavored protein powder. I use veggie powder now. Why? Because my stomach doesn't like whey protein at all. So that's the only reason. Okay, and then I mix it. Won't take long. And actually, what I could add a little bit is, I've added some cinnamon here, in here. Cinnamon is good. And this is my breakfast, but I eat it after I come from the gym. But so that I wouldn't crash while working out, I also have my intra-workout drink, which is basically another set of amino acids and some carbs that go into the shaker. So that's what I do while I work out. But the thing that I just mixed is my breakfast, my first solid meal of the day. And then cinnamon. Okay, that's good. So now it looks like this. Can you see this thick batter thing? And and it gets even thicker when I put it in the fridge for a little bit. What else is going on? Yeah, my daughter had her knee surgery 6 or 7 weeks ago, and we've been doing some rehab at the gym, so she goes with me every other day. And today we're gonna see a physical therapist to make sure that we're on track with the recovery. We're probably gonna get some new exercises and stuff. Okay, here we go. So now ready. These go in the trash. And put the oats back. And the protein powder. And the good morning drink. Okay, and the water. Why don't I take tap water? Well, I do drink tap water. Here in Finland, you can drink tap water, but it's just faster when it's in the fridge. That can, and it's cold. That's it. Okay, let me take these back to my office, actually. So, it's a beautiful day. I live right by the river, so I have a nice view from the balcony, which is something that I did when I sold my house, meaning I bought this place, had it remodeled. I used to live in a big house, which was a maintenance nightmare. But this thing here, I like because of its central location, and I can see the water, and I'm right in the center of the city, which right now my kids are getting older, so I like. A house is not a status symbol to me. I don't think if it ever was, but I just want to make sure that I can fully concentrate on the things that are important to me at any given point. And I've been doing a lot of work personally when it comes to trying to understand what things are relevant to me in my life. I have these conversations with my kids all the time about understand what's signal, what's noise. And yeah, I do it on a daily basis for myself, for my own tasks, but I also talk to my kids about how life actually for them is all about blocking 90% of what people tell you. So you are in the business of saying no to 90% of all the information, what the society tells you, what your friends and your family members and people around you tell you, and then only applying 10%. That's really, really hard. First, understanding that 10% applies, filtering that, and then after that, once you know what's relevant to you, then keep saying no every day to that 90%, meaning the noise out there. It's super hard. It's one of the hardest things in life. And the reason why people are overwhelmed, in my opinion, why we are lost, clueless, whatever term you want to use, is because we just listen to all that noise around us. So if we were just able to simplify and listen to those things that are relevant to us, it would get a lot easier. And then at the end of the day, you just identify that, okay, there aren't that many things that I need to be working on. Right now, I only have 3 priorities. I have my kids, which are always number 1. If my daughter asks me to go to the gym in the middle of the day, when she has her summer vacation, I go. Even if I have work, I just like, that's always number 1 for me. If we travel, and I work less. Then after that comes my training. I've been doing it for 32 years. And then after that, or kind of together with my training, is my business. I just want to see how good I truly am in the end. That's all. It's just how I do it. And then everything else becomes noise. Unfortunately, sometimes fortunately, people ask me to see a concert or go to a, I don't know, summer festival somewhere. I'm like, okay, no. I mean, these 3 things are more important to me. So I'm very good at saying no nowadays. I wasn't that way back in the day because what I called myself was a yes man, meaning I wanted to kind of like, I had a hard time letting certain fires burn and being able to concentrate on what's relevant. I don't know if you can see right now. But anyhow, do we have any comments? So people say hi from India, those previous ones. So if we have a larger audience in the future, obviously, and even now, you can ask me anything. There isn't a topic that I shy away from. So I just try to be very, very transparent, stating the facts, telling the truth. The best marketing strategy ever. Okay, but anyhow, so my VSL, back to the work stuff. Yeah, this is what I actually do. I can flip this even. Okay, so when I have a script, you won't be able to see the text here, but this is what I do. So when I have a new script, let's say I record a long YouTube video, I always do this. So I have the text here in a Word document. Then the next thing I do is I go to the office and I print it out. It's kind of like I put these large pieces of paper on the wall, and then I don't memorize anything. I just try to kind of make sure that I understand the script. I've always done that prep work. I always do the prep work even before printing it out, of course. And when I put together the script, I use AI extensively as a, how would I put it, as a sounding board, as a so-called business partner. And it's AI that puts together the script as well. But that's why I never read it off of teleprompter or anything, because it would sound, I think, artificial. But I use AI a lot in everyday life just to kind of get ideas back and forth, test certain theories and principles that I have, and so forth. No, it doesn't taste good. Anyhow, yeah, so I would suggest everybody to play with ChatGPT or whatever service you use. I have the paid version, so I have access to the early releases, but especially putting together strategies and scripts and ideas for longs and shorts and everything. So I do that a lot. Are there any red flags I should be aware of regarding certain individuals? I don't know if that was a question to me. Okay, that's a good question if that's a generic question. So what I do with people is that there's one rule that I follow. When people show you their true colors, believe them the first time. So walk the fuck away. It never gets better. It never ever gets better. I've gone through 2 very difficult breakups. I know a thing or two of our relationships, I believe. At least I have a lot of opinions. But if you see somebody, let's say it's I'm not talking about business partners now. Let's go to that next. But let's say it's a private relationship, romantic relationship, and you meet somebody the first time. Actually, I think you need to fall in love with 2 persons. You need to fall in love with the person you see right there and then, knowing that that person is not going to change one bit. Not a single thing is going to change. Ask yourself, is this the best thing ever? Okay. And then the second person you need to fall in love with is the future version of that person. So you talk to him or her and say, okay, what do you want to do in 10, 20, or 30 years? Are you in perfect alignment with that vision of his or hers? So those 2 people. I think where many people go wrong with relationships is that we fall in love with the potential. Okay, if this and this and this were different, then this would be the best thing ever. No, and that's never going to work. Then we get stuck, then we get married, then we have kids, and then it's a fucking nightmare. Don't ever do that. That's what I mean by when people show you their true colors, believe them the first time. Don't believe that anybody can change. Because like the old saying goes, people rarely change in relationships and never when they are told to. And that's where people go wrong. We point fingers. We are trying to control the other person to change so that he or she would become my dream partner. But it takes so much courage to just walk away. Say, okay, this is not my thing. Doesn't seem perfect. Okay, there is no perfect. There's going to be plenty of compromises. Nothing is perfect. But you can't make compromises on the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th date. That happens after months or years. That's my 2 cents on it, literally. If your question is about red flags regarding certain individuals in business context, of course, honesty is one thing. Just like state the facts, tell the truth. There's nothing else I can really say. It's hard to hire people if you're hiring somebody. Let's say you're a manager in a corporate world or you have your own business. It's hard to hire anybody who's better than you. Trust me, I've been there. It's super hard. But that should be your goal. But if people can't keep their promise, make good promises and keep them all. If they can't follow those simple rules, being trustworthy and honest and true to themselves, I think those are the red flags. And then not falling in love with the potential. The same thing with an individual in the corporate world or in the business world. Yeah, people get better. They can train themselves, they can acquire skills, but it's the soft skills I'm talking about. Don't expect anyone to dramatically change if they're not already punctual when you meet them. I have my doubts about how much they can change. That's how I look at it. Thanks for the question, by the way. I'm going to keep sipping this thing and then don't ask me why, but the gym opens at 9, which is like in 1 minute, but I don't have to go at 9. But I'm just saying that usually they open earlier, but I guess it's because it's Sunday. And yeah, this gym doesn't have that, 24-hour thing. Many of them actually nowadays have that access that you just have this tag or whatever application that you show and then you get in. It's just funny. Yeah. Okay, what else is going on today? So I was thinking of having another live when I go to the office and record the VSL, again, the same VSL letter that's here. The script, video sales letter for my landing page. So my new videos actually, there's going to be one release today. Yeah, I just recorded that. It was in that fourplex that I'm remodeling right now, and that's the live that went south because for some reason my 5G didn't work. So I had this killer idea of recording this live from one of my properties that's under renovation. So people would have been able to see the disaster and the chaos when it's kind of gutted to the studs. And but no, I couldn't do it. But anyhow, I recorded my long YouTube video from there. It's about how to find tenants. And the process I personally follow, the 3 steps. It's probably a 7-minute video or so. It's not very long. But anyhow, it's going to be released today or uploaded today on my channel. And I don't know if this is the place to summarize that, but I won't bore you with the details unless somebody actually wants to go there. If there's anybody who's investing and wants to actually have a bulletproof way of finding tenants who never leave and always pay on time. That was really my hook for the video. I do a lot of manual work there. I'm not a big fan of doing a lot of time-wasting work unless it adds value to my business, meaning if I have to mow my lawn or get the property or this condo cleaned, I hire somebody for that. I don't do any of that stuff. But because I'm a big believer in understanding that focus is everything that we have. If I keep saying yes to everything, I just keep saying no to the most important stuff. So I first have to learn how to say no so that I can say yes. That's really the thing that I try to follow. Let me put this back here for a little bit and finish this drink. Okay, that was my morning greens, and then come the caffeine. I guess you could say I'm somewhat addicted to these. I'm not proud of it, these energy drinks, but I don't drink coffee. There were many years when I didn't take any caffeine at all. And don't ask me why I started. It's just stupid. I guess I started using these workout boosters, like pre-workout boosters. And they had caffeine in them, and it was like such a big, and these other stimulants too, made a big difference to me. And I was like, so much more I learned, because that was a time in my life when I didn't sleep well at all. And there's a lot of stress and whatnot. So I noticed a big difference because I always train in the mornings. So I guess then I just over time built the habit. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, so there's no questions. 3 people online. So thanks for logging in, by the way. So just like for you who's there, I don't want to put you on the spot, but just like, what do you expect from a live session? If I can ask you, if anybody wants to answer, because I have no, like I said, this is my 3rd day. This is my 3rd day of doing these, and I truly enjoy this. I could go on forever. I don't know, but I'm just always quote unquote concerned that this adds value. It's like, is it just I could take this camera to the gym, I guess, stream from there. I could take it to my car and just drive to the office and just leave it on. And I was thinking of recording a live session when I have a client meeting, my coaching clients and all of that stuff. But I guess time will tell. I understand people are not necessarily that into providing comments. It's more about me just like looking, humiliating myself here. Yeah, but so what do you think about this? If you're an experienced real estate investor who's completed several deals but struggling to scale beyond 10 deals per year, this might be the most important video you will watch today. That's how I start. That's my hook. Oh, okay. So may I ask, what was the reason to leave drinking? Okay, I never drank coffee. I didn't like the taste. I never started. So what happened was that when I had my corporate job, I lived in California and I worked for Nokia, the telecommunications company, right? The Finnish cell phone manufacturer. And we had a bunch of suppliers. I was in sourcing, so I was managing this team of purchasing managers globally, and we were responsible for negotiating the contracts with those suppliers. Anyhow, that doesn't matter. But I used to travel from LA to China, Taiwan, Korea all the time, and I was so jet lagged. So that was the last time when I literally tried to drink coffee. And in those meetings, people brought coffee all the time. It's like, because everybody was, tired and jet lagged. And I was so super dead tired once, and I was like, no, I have to drink. And I just couldn't finish it. So I don't know. I guess taste of coffee is something that, I don't know. You have to get used to it, right? Well, you guys, if you drink coffee, let me know. But the same thing with anything stronger. Like, I don't know if that many people like red wine or white wine the first time they try it. Yeah, but I never drank coffee. So it's just all those years up to my, I don't know, maybe I started drinking caffeine or these energy drinks when I was like 40. This is stupid. I'm 48 now. I'm 48 now, so no coffee for me the first 40 plus years. Yeah, tea occasionally, but not a regular habit. Yeah, so no coffee, but I mean, I don't know if it's bad for you. That's not the thing for me. I probably would drink coffee if I like the taste. It's just one of those things. It's just one of those things. Okay, so a couple of things about since the next on my radar for today. So 3 things. Okay, what's today's signal? What's today's noise? Today's signal is 3 things. Gym, first thing. The next thing, I come back, I'm gonna eat the thing that I just cooked there or prepared there. I don't know if some of you saw it. Then I'm gonna go with my daughter to see that physical therapist to make sure that we get a set of new guidelines and exercises for her knee. And then I tried to record the VSL, the video sales letter for my landing page. Try, that's a wrong word. I will do it. The question is if I can do it here at home, if nobody else is here, because my office is so hot that it's unbearable right now before I get that portable AC tomorrow. So that's what I'm planning on doing. So, and of course, release that new video. So those things move the ball forward today. Everything else is noise. So I keep saying no to that stuff. Thanks for the comments. I appreciate it. you probably have no idea how much I do because, like I said, I don't take anything for granted in life. I'm grateful for everything and everything. I deserve nothing. That's how I honestly look at it. And this thing was just, I was like, okay, so why did I start doing lives? Is one last thing that I'm just going to cover before I go. I got this email from YouTube, so I was somehow selected. I don't know if I really was, but that's how they claimed. I was selected to be one of these creators that, I mean, they claim that, okay, they see potential in me doing lives, vertical lives. So this way, not the landscape format or horizontal lives. And they have these boot camps. Unfortunately, I have my client meeting every single time when that live boot camp session takes place. So I always watch the recordings afterwards. And I had been hearing about lives in the past. The person who actually helped me in the beginning to get started a little over a year ago told me already back then that I should start doing lives, and I just didn't see myself in that position in any possible way. But now it just started making sense, and like I said, I honestly like this. This is just, again, I don't know if there's anything, I mean, maybe if my channel grows in the future and there's more people, maybe this shapes or ends up being something that is different than what it is now. But now I'm thinking of doing a live every morning, just to primarily just to set the tone right for the day, because like I keep saying all the time, over and over and over, what's relevant, what's not. I keep saying no to that irrelevant stuff, and I'm going to set the day right by talking to somebody else about it. And then maybe another live in the afternoon around my client meetings and when I'm in the office, and just wrap up the day, even though it doesn't really wrap up my day, but just like towards the end, so that I can capture those people who are in the US. Because right now this is the most difficult time for anybody on the East or West Coast. So I just want to do the afternoon or the, let's say, 5 p.m. here time as well. But I believe now most of the people who have logged in or are online are from somewhere either in Europe, or I would assume it's too early for people Sunday morning here in Europe. Most people have been partying last night because it's Sunday. And in my hometown, they have this 3-day festival. It's a really cool thing, but I didn't attend, where most people go, and the weather has been so super nice. But yeah, summer is great here in Scandinavia. Winter is not. That's why I try to spend winter somewhere else. I'm going to go to Spain for a month in November, and then maybe another month after Christmas. So one longer stint, so to say, before Christmas, and another one after Christmas. I used to travel, I mean, the last 3 winters I've been traveling once a month, but that gets expensive. That gets kind of like, breaks the rhythm a little bit. So my kids are so much older that they don't need me on a daily basis, and their mom is here too. So it's not that they would be by themselves if anything happened. Of course, I got to talk to them every day, but that's why I'm justified. This might sound ridiculous. The hardest thing for me is to, I still feel that I need to explain myself, or explain to myself, give myself a permission, is the right way to put it. Give myself a permission to be quote unquote selfish and take time for myself. I've always been a dad who, first and foremost, I mean, I've made millions of mistakes. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I've always done everything in my power to be there for my kids, time-wise, attention-wise, whatnot. But it's hard. It's hard for me. It's one of those things, like I mentioned, that saying yes versus no. I've always been the yes guy. And I've been thinking that I can say yes to every single thing. And I really had to learn again how to first say no so that I can say yes later. And this is where still I struggle, because like one of my long-term goals is to live in a hybrid mode where I spend winter somewhere else and maybe summers here. So how do I combine that with prioritizing my kids always first and foremost? Of course, they are older now. They are 19 and 16, almost 20 and almost 17. So yeah, I mean, I need to step away a little bit from the spotlight is not the right word, but you know what I mean, like not being there all the time, because I need to give them more room and more freedom, and I think they probably enjoy it that I'm gone for a month. But uh, anyhow, it's all good. Those are the challenges we all face. Every day we start from zero and we go to one. Then we sleep and we expect there to be something left in the tank or in those built-in reserves, but no, it could be that tomorrow morning we feel like shit again, and then we just have to start all over. What's my biggest fear? Okay, that's a good one. I actually have one. I mean, every dad or every parent, I believe, always fears that something happens to their kids. That's, I think, standard. That's normal. Other than that, I only have one. That I'm out of time and I regret something. Literally. The way I endlessly motivate myself is by asking myself today, what is it that I need to do today so that I have zero regrets when I'm 90? Literally. And I've been exceptionally good at that. So I'm 48 now, and I can honestly say that's probably one of my biggest accomplishments and achievements in life, that I don't regret anything. I've made plenty of mistakes, but I don't regret anything. I've taken every chance. I've risked it. I have moved to different countries. I have started businesses from scratch in different countries. I have done everything that I ever wanted. I left the bad relationships that I had, that I was in, even though it was scary. I've done everything that I needed to do. So my only goal, which at the same time is my fear that I'm not able to do that. But since I can talk to my inner energy, my gut, my intuition, I believe I can achieve that. But that's my biggest fear, that I'm out of time, truly out of time, and I haven't had a chance to do everything that I wanted. Does that make sense? I guess it makes sense. It's mine, but it might be something that you didn't expect. I'm not afraid of losing money. I'm not afraid of losing what I have. I've lost plenty of money. I've made plenty of money, but mistakes are part of life. I think people, if you play it safe, you're always in your comfort zone and you don't get to experience life, the whole roller coaster. To me, this is like a one big 360. You start from zero. If you think about it, naked, alone, and broke, you end up the same way when you die. Exactly the same way. Everything you have is on loan. You don't own anything. Literally, you don't get to keep any of that shit. Nobody cares. Honestly, nobody. I mean, these are just, don't copy mine. These are just the principles that work for me. Use if useful. So always the caveat. I'm not here to tell anybody what to do. So there is no should. There is no should in life. You should never listen to people who tell you what you should do, because they try to convince you to live life their way. That's what it is, because they're insecure. People can tell you that you should do this if it's attached to an if sentence. So I could tell only people who are maybe overweight that, okay, if they ask for my help, okay, you should stop eating candy if you want to lose weight. But I should never go to anybody and tell them what to do. I can give them macro level advice, but never micro level. That's how I look at it, unless it's about what worked for me. I had something in my mind. This is super fun, I can tell you that. I just enjoy this a lot because I get to rant. What is my biggest fear? Yeah, that's my biggest fear. I'm scared shitless that I have regrets when I'm out of time. Right now, I have two things on my radar. I need to, this third business that I started, making this content and, coaching, really helping other people grow their business and growing my own, or managing my own real estate business at the same time, is one of those things that I knew I had to do. Otherwise, I would regret it forever. That's why I started it. And now then really the second big one is that just having the courage to just quote unquote move or live in that hybrid mode where I spend the winter somewhere else, whatever that might be. It could be Southern Europe, it could be Florida, it could be California in the winter, depending, of course, what my kids do. And I also want to make sure that these last years when my kids are at home, I don't have any regrets as far as paying attention to what they do or spending time with them. That's just my stuff. I don't need to make X amount of money, but I do want to test how good I am at the end of the day. I'd like literally get to see. Because I think our goal in life, at least my goal in life, is to get a little better every day, just to see how good I am. But that also means that I have to be willing to accept all those little failures and losses and all of that, because it's a roller coaster ride. You want to be surprised. Sometimes you want to be nervous. Sometimes you want to feel the ups and downs, like in a real roller coaster, right? If it's just boring, if it's just flat, you get bored. But if it's too scary, you puke, right? So you want something in between. You want the roller coaster to surprise you and then just give you the thrills and the excitement. That's how I look at it. If anybody was interested in that breakfast recipe, it's healthy, it's good. 1 banana, medium-sized banana, ripe, pretty ripe, smashed at the bottom of your bowl. I put usually 1 whole egg and 4 to 5 egg whites, but you can just put egg whites only if you want to limit your fat intake. And then I put 80 grams of oats, mix them, and then 1 scoop of vanilla flavored protein. You can skip that if you want, or you can put chocolate, whatever you want, but and then all it mixed. And then, okay, this part I didn't mention, and then I fry it on a frying pan. It's kind of like a pancake thing. You flip it, medium heat for 10 to 15 minutes, and I eat it with fresh berries. It's just, this is the interesting part. I've been eating that same exact breakfast. Guess how many years? I'm thinking 5 or 6, counting now, and counting. Literally every day, even if I travel, if I stay at an Airbnb or whatever, I eat the same breakfast. I go to a grocery store and eat by the ingredients. 27. How many eggs? 5. So 5 egg whites. So you can put 1 whole egg and then 4 egg whites, or just 5 egg whites. That's what I usually do. 1 banana, the eggs, 80 to 90 grams of oats, and then 1 scoop of that vanilla protein and a little bit of cinnamon. Then you mix them all up, let it sit for half an hour so that it kind of like gets more firm. Then you fry it on that frying pan on medium heat. And I usually eat it with fresh blueberries, raspberries, strawberries. How many eggs? Yeah. Try it. But there's plenty of those recipes on the internet. I mean, this is just maybe called the banana oat pancake, or banana protein pancake, or something like that. You can Google it. There's plenty of those recipes out there. It's good. But I've been eating that for the same exact breakfast for at least 5 years now. Before that, I just had oatmeal separate with berries and eggs separate. So then I was like, how can I streamline this? How can I make this faster? And then I just, came up with this. I saw it somewhere. This recipe for the pancake. And this might sound weird. I actually look forward to eating that same thing every morning. I'm all about standardizing everything that I do so that I can measure it. I can see what the results are. So it's just, not many people can do that. And I don't think you necessarily have to. But if diet and working out is your thing, I think you have to be able to deal with that. The fact that you eat the same kind of foods and you train the same way all the time, because otherwise you just can't improvise it all the time. If your diet is all over the place, it's just impossible to know your macros or your calories. I don't count my calories, I don't count my macros, but I know roughly what I get. I know my protein intake, and that's all that matters. And yeah, occasionally Hive ice cream might have that, but it's just like standardizing that stuff is just important because that way you know what goes in. It's like in business, you have to have your metrics in place. If you don't know what the metrics are, how can you improve if you don't know the data? I'm eating cottage cheese. Okay, that's good. Has a lot of protein. If your stomach can handle dairy, mine can't. It's not good for me. So that's why I don't. I used to eat a lot of cottage cheese back in the day when I was in my 20s, and quark. I mean, like this Greek yogurt. I don't know if it's quark, right? Greek yogurt, unflavored, unsweetened, high protein. Yeah, I used to do that with pineapple. Pineapple slices mixed up with that pretty sour quark, in a bowl, and then it's like I got like 25 to 30 grams of protein from that. But cottage cheese is good. I think 200 grams give you, hold on, let me think. I don't remember anymore. 100 grams is how much? Could you have 20 grams of protein? Maybe, maybe. I often boil 2 eggs in the morning and eat them in breakfast time hot. I'm not excluding the yellow part. Yeah, I mean, eggs are good. I mean, you can. So this is one of the clients that I coach. Um, it's not a. I'm not a dietitian, or I guess I don't consider myself an expert in nutrition, even though I know a lot about it. But I give him advice regarding diet and exercise, and I tell him that he should always follow this one rule of thumb regarding proteins. So all your protein sources should come from those types of products or sources where the ratio is 2 to 1 or better. So meaning if you have 20 grams of protein, the max amount of fat you can have is 10. So 2 to 1 ratio, protein to fats. I'm boiling 2 eggs as well. Breakfast, working days. Yeah, yeah, that's good. I mean, some people are less sensitive to carbs. Some people are more. I don't mind having carbs. I mean, so okay, so this is the thing that people need to understand about food and diet. So the rule number one always is calories in versus calories out. That determines your weight. Okay, so if you want to lose weight, I'm not saying you guys do, but or if you want to gain weight. So if you want to lose weight, so the first thing you need to understand is, let's say if your consumption is 2,000, you need to eat less than that. And literally you can lose weight if you eat, I don't know, donuts, as long as you eat less than the 2,000. See what I'm saying? So calories in versus calories out determines what your weight is. But then the macros, the makeup of the food, protein, fat, carbs, determines what you look like together with your activity level. Does that make sense? So you can literally gain weight by eating too many bananas during a day. So if my consumption, if my average daily diet or need is 2,000 calories and I eat too many bananas, that would mean a truckload of bananas, but I can gain weight by eating bananas or carrots or whatever. If I get too many calories, it's that simple. So people ask me all the time, okay, so can I eat this? Can I eat that? Yeah, you can eat that, but just understand that calories in versus calories out is always the first step. The second step is to understand what is it that put in your body. Because if you eat birthday cakes or if you eat muffins all the time, you will look like a muffin, even if you eat 1,800 calories from muffins. Nutritionally, that would be a disaster. But see what I'm saying? So to oversimplify things, calories in versus calories out first. Then after that, the makeup, meaning the macros, what kind of proteins, what kind of carbs, what kind of fats. And then that determines what you look like. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you need less than you eat less than you need, and then you lose weight. Correct. Yes, absolutely. So there is no, in that sense, there is no right or wrong as far as just the weight goes. But of course, you just don't want to eat bacon all day and cereal. You would look like bacon and cereal, so to say. It makes a huge difference if your 2,000 calories come from natural sources, like the type of breakfast I just made. That makes the biggest difference in the world. So lean proteins, protein to fat ratio 2 to 1 or better. Then just take your carbs from oatmeal, berries, potatoes, sweet potatoes, rice in moderate amounts. And then your fats from, I would say, avocado, olive oil, nuts, maybe eggs, and that's about it. Salmon, good fats. That's all you need. You don't need bacon. Yeah, if you like it, have bacon occasionally. That's fine. But that's, or sausage or something processed. No, that's not a good idea. But occasionally, yeah. But that's not a good fat source. It's terrible. It's the worst fat source of fat, so to say. Because you need, let's say, is anybody weighing that as much as I do? Let's say I weigh 100 kilos, 225 roughly, 225 pounds. So I would need minimum of 70 to 80 grams of fats in my diet, maybe even a little more. But that comes easily by eating eggs, olive oil, avocado, and nuts, and maybe eating salmon. So that's where I get my fats. I don't need to add anything. Five people online. And these are super fun, I can tell you that. I just don't know what time to do these. I guess I just collect data and see what makes sense as far as the perfect time or the best timing goes. And then go from there. But just feel free to say whatever you want. I mean, you can be personal. Thanks, I was just looking for, what are they, with 2 whole eggs and olives and lettuce. Okay, university, you had a university, okay. So you guys is it a dorm where you have like a cafeteria where they provide breakfast or serve breakfast? Universal breakfast. Oh, I was just looking for universal breakfast. Oh, sorry. I misunderstood for now. Okay. Are you active? This is to pit. Are you active? Meaning, do you train? What's your goal? Do you want to lose weight, or what do you want to do? That's okay. No. Okay, you don't try to lose weight. It's fine. Yeah, not everybody has to be as obsessed as I am when it comes to nutrition and working out. But what I do say is that ask yourself, I would like to lose weight. Okay, well then my suggestion is that the first thing is this. Okay, so if you want to lose weight, the first thing is this. So write down everything that you eat over the course of a week and start to work out. Okay. But before you start that, so first things first. Do not make the mistake of trying to change 5 things at the same time. That's a disaster. So one thing at a time. One thing at a time. If I were you, assuming I don't know how much you weigh, assuming you are not super overweight, maybe the first thing is that you do is that you just start exercising. Don't touch your diet. Don't touch anything else. Just start working out. Just one change at a time. And then implement that and repeat that until it becomes a routine in your weekly life. And maybe start working out 2 or 3 times a week. Something that you can manage. Don't set yourself up for failure. 125 and 94, that's not bad. I mean, that's good. Okay, good. So just start working out. Your diet is not that bad if you don't weigh more than that. Okay, so just introduce workouts, exercising into your weekly routine. That's all you do, and see what happens. Do that for, I would say, 4 weeks. Start maybe, if you don't do anything now, if there's no physical activity, start twice a week and ramp it up to 3 times or 4 times a week. When that feels like something you can do consistently, week after week, no matter what happens in your life, no matter what your feelings are, no matter where you go, then you start making other changes. Then you clean up your diet a little by little. Maybe the first thing you leave is, or you skip is, I don't know, if you like ice cream or if you like candy. Okay, I try to get rid of that and I replace that with something else. That's how you get consistent, long-term, lasting results. This is no different than anything else you try to do in life, whether it's business or personal development. So just one thing at a time. Do not make the mistake of trying to go from 0 to 5 times a week as far as exercise goes, and then change your diet, quit smoking, quit drinking if that's what you do. I'm not saying you do, but that's what I'm trying to say is that people make the mistake of trying to do 15 different things all at once. Just one thing at a time. That's all you gotta do. And exercise alone, if you do it properly with high intensity, like put your mind into it, not just like goof around, that will give you several benefits already. But I cannot highlight the importance of this enough. Just one thing at a time, literally. My weight is 75 kilos, 179. My workout routine is full body in the gym, good. However, I have neck and waist aches on the left part, so I decided to start cycling on that side. Okay. Do you know what the root cause is for those pains, those aches and pains on the left side of your body? Is it muscular imbalance? Have you seen a chiropractor? That's what I do. I see a chiropractor every 6 weeks just to prevent these. I mean, my spine gets all crooked. It has to be adjusted. And if I let it get too bad, then it's hard. I mean, I get all kinds of shoulder pains. Do you believe in Hinduism? I don't know enough about religion to be perfectly honest. I was born and raised Christian here in Finland, in Scandinavia, but religion has never been a big part of my life, to be perfectly honest. So I'm not going to try to pretend to be something I'm not. So I cannot comment on Hinduism. Yeah, but so try to find out the root cause for that, because I don't think skipping gym, because the full body workouts are perfect. You need that full range of motion type of exercising, I think. Cycling is good, but it's for cardio. You need to be able to squat, you need to be able to deadlift, do overhead presses, bench presses, barbell rows for longevity. That's how I look at it. So you need that full range of motion, especially the lower body. In cycling, you get that lower body too, but not the same way you train it at the gym. Calisthenics is more safe to get an injury than waiting. Okay. I would disagree on that, but because if you have proper form and technique and you understand where your weaknesses are, it's super safe. It's super safe. Weightlifting, I mean. I do not know the root cause of those aches. My answer was not on the. Okay. As long as you stay active, here's the thing. Again, there is no right or wrong here. I should not tell anybody what you should do. As long as you find something that makes it possible for you to stay active. If cycling is that, if calisthenics is that, then do that. If badminton or tennis is that, as long as you stay active, that's the whole thing. Make sure that you find your motivation, your why is big enough. That's the whole thing. I'm thinking to get back to the gym. Yeah, good. Just make sure that you have proper form and technique above everything. That's the thing. That's the most important thing. You won't get injured if you do it properly. You warm up and you do it properly. It's almost impossible Okay, now that I say that, I just had a couple of tweaks, like little scares my last 2 sessions. So I was squatting my left quad, got this little cramp, and my left pec chest too. So okay, so don't listen to me. So, but I push my body. I mean, I'm a bulldog, so it's like doesn't mean that happens to you. Yeah, I mean it's like I said, do what your thing is. It doesn't need to be what I do. By the way, those aches, my stress. Okay, I did some brief research. I mean, okay, but see a doctor, a massage therapist, or a chiropractor because some of those aches could be just like your alignment, so to say, off. Problem is that I wake up at 5:30. I'm going to work and I'm back home at 5:30 at night. Yeah, I get that. That takes a lot. Yeah, I get it. Just do it right after work. It doesn't need to be every day. It doesn't need to be every day. Maybe just do, if you can only do, what about weekends? What if you just didn't do, if Monday to Friday is super hectic, you have other commitments and whatnot, what if you just train back to back Saturday and Sunday? Is that possible? You would do upper body, lower body. So you would be able to hit every muscle once a week. 2 hard sessions, and maybe during the week, a couple of, I don't know, go for a walk, go for a run for half an hour. You would be ahead of 90% of the population if you kept doing that, even that, for 10 years in a row. Consistency. Do something that feels boring and keep doing it. Start and never stop. Start and never stop, no matter what that is. The neck pain on the left side. It's called fibromyalgia. I don't know what that is. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. Well, it doesn't make sense to me, but I mean, obviously you know something about it because you're familiar with the topic and the terms. Yeah, I have had, there isn't a day or a week when I don't feel aches all the time. Literally, like there's something going on all the time, but that's where the balance comes into play. Just like being able to grind, being able to stay in the game and do things even if you don't feel 100%. But being smart about it so you don't get injured. Try yoga. It's great for that kind of, yeah, that's a good idea. I've never done yoga. I should. Well, again, I should. But I don't know, should I? But I think it would be good. But I don't think I have enough interest. And I know myself so well that if I don't, I ask myself this: a new hobby, a new thing. Am I willing to do this for the next 5 years? If not, then I don't even go once. If I meet a new person, I go on a date. That's the question I ask myself. Do I see myself with this person also in 5 years? If I have any doubt in my mind, I'm just gonna walk away. Thank you for a recommendation. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I think it's a great idea to do yoga. Try different things. Forget what I say. These things only apply to me. Use if useful. Always remember, use if useful. 10% what I say might be applicable to you. 90% is noise because nobody walks or has walked in your shoes. Spine problems and yoga healed that, yeah. I think it's the alignment, the core strength that yoga does so well. It's the core that is very crucial. This is the longest live I've done, 64 minutes. I actually don't mind doing it. Quite the opposite. By the way, do you guys, 10 minutes yoga for beginners, do you guys get a notification? How did you join this? Did you get a notification and that's why you joined, or did you just like on your phone and like scrolling and then you saw that somebody is doing live, especially for neck problems. Notification. Okay, thank you for that. And the crazy guys trying to say something again. Notification as well. Wow. I saw that you're live at the main YouTube screen. Okay, perfect. Thank you for that. Okay. Okay, so the three of you, Gladu, Mert, C, and Pit. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce those right. My bad. But what kind of topics, if you guys join lives all the time, or if I'm the first one, I don't know, but what kind of topics do you, I mean, am I asking too many, am I asking a stupid question here? I mean, is it just like freestyling it? Because I'm a rookie with this. This is my third time, but I honestly like this. But I would just like, I can talk about anything. I mean, I can talk about anything for hours if the topic is interesting. Anything that you guys want to talk about? Is it just random shit? If I go to the office today, I'm going to probably start my live and show people how I prep for the video that I need to record, unless I do it here at home. Notification, okay, that's good to know. Maybe I should start using the YouTube, what is it called? I'm going to answer that question in a sec. The community notes. I once announced that, and it was ironic that then it went south. That was the 5G problem. What's the biggest risk you have ever taken? Financially? Well, I can answer this from multiple perspectives. So financially, starting from scratch 3 times. Literally like picking a new industry, not knowing anybody, and just not sure if it's ever going to work. That's probably like, as far as a business owner or being a business owner, or talking about financial risk, that's probably the biggest one. Personally, leaving 2 relationships, jumping into the unknown. But I don't know if those are risks. I think it's just part of life. But actually, I'm focused to make my health better and try to have more energy. Personal development, business, I think good. I think, okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I want to just like, okay, I mentioned that I've started from scratch 3 times. So what I mean by that is that when I left corporate, I started my real estate company in San Diego, and I didn't know a single person in town about real estate. I had done some side hustle deals, rentals back in the day, way before that. And then the second time when we moved back to Europe, I did that again. I started my real estate business, and now this is the 3rd time when I started this coaching stuff. You know, without having any name or brand recognition, I started creating content and talking about stuff. Okay, so what's common with that is that I think people who, whether this is personal development and this is business too, so you always need to understand what is that I need to do right now. There's always that one thing that moves the ball forward the most. You will hear me talk about this until I'm blue in the face. It's so super important to understand. The reason why it's so hard is because of all that noise that's out there. So always asking yourself, okay, what moves the ball forward right now? What do I need to do? When you start a business, you're small. People don't know you exist. So always the first activity that you have to do is you need to let people know that you're out there. If I take myself back to 2010, 09 when I started, for the first time as a full-time entrepreneur, all I did for the first 6 months was that I started calling agents. I knew that if I wanted to make a name for myself in the real estate business or industry, I had to talk to those people who control inventory, where I can buy properties, and that was real estate agents and homeowners. So literally every single listing that hit the market for the first 6 months, I called the agent. I wasn't able to talk to every one of them, but that's what I did until I was blue in the face. Literally, like for the first 6 months, 2 agents quit on me saying that it's never going to work. And I was like, well, this has to work because there are other people doing this too. It can't be so hard. So I think that's something that we talked about diet, we talked about nutrition, we talked about exercising. It's the same thing. It's not what you do, it's doing it consistently until you get results. And don't expect it ever to be ready. It's that 0 to 1 concept. That, excuse me, that you go, like you start every day from scratch, fully expecting tomorrow morning to be the exact same thing. And then you empty your tank today, do everything that you need to do, take the right actions, and then tomorrow morning you start from scratch again, as if nothing happened yesterday. Many people get disappointed because they have this illusion that, well, I worked so hard yesterday, where are the results? There are no results. Those might come. Life is full of micro-level losses followed by an occasional win. I don't want to sound pessimistic in any way, but that's just how I look at it. Because it's just a reality. It's always been my case. Everything that I've been able to get done in life is because of consistent, boring action. Okay, this was super fun. I'm going to end it here. It's 71 minutes now. Not that the minutes matter in any way. But I need to go to the gym. I need to get my day started. And then, like I said, I'm hoping I can start another live later today. I don't know what time, but you guys join if you join. If this is useful, I fully appreciate it. And let's see what the future brings. Again, thank you. Again, from the bottom of my heart, it means a lot to me that somebody was willing to listen to me. And because I want to help. You know, if there's any, if this stuff that I talk about is helpful to anybody, then I mean, I feel really good about it. Honestly, that's how I look at it. Thank you, you too. Have a good day. Appreciate all your comments. That was really helpful. And in the future too, please keep joining, keep tuning in and ask anything that you want. Go talk. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Okay, bye.